Alright, Lantis, so I'm starting to feel a lot better, so upload should hopefully start picking up over the next couple of so days. For those that are unaware, I have been ill. But for today's video, we are finally having a look at 1000G Blood War Esnor. If you didn't see our live stream, we're doing very similar runs here, because Esnor is one of the newest additions to the melee ARRANCAR guild quest, which, truth be told, doesn't really need Esnor all that much, because there is already a really good set of characters that you can use here. And it seems like right now, understandably so, people are still opting to use in someone like Bambietta. But as you can see, for someone like me, while I was excited for Esnor, I don't have Bambietta, and I don't want to be using Kilgate in guild quest. Not like he's bad, but I want a more reliable scorer, and that's what you could potentially get with Esnor. Additionally, while it doesn't seem like anyone's actually really doing it all too much, I believe you should be able to get away using Esnor as a side alongside Bambietta, but it potentially looks like people are opting to use Esnor as a main and then Bambietta as a side. That is why she is the 6th most used auto-played character. Meanwhile, Esnor isn't anywhere to be seen in the top 10 auto-played characters, but that's likely because everyone wants to use him since you just pulled him. With that said though, for today's build, it's a bit different if you aren't fully aware of this strategy. I've seen my guildmates talk about it, some lads over on the live stream was also recommending it, but Focus apparently is like an optimal build you can do for guild quests. I would probably still just say go full spiritual pressure, but the way the new nightmare stats do work, you don't need as much SP as you think you do, so that's why people are now building focus builds, and ironically they work. So in this case, for this particular run, or video I guess, we are rocking level 10 focus stat. We are full stamina and damage to weakened as bonus abilities, and then with that we're using the best accessories that we can use, the Quincy badge, fortification pill, and also a ARRANCAR sticker, but again, all focus. And I guess this is a pretty decent way of building your character, especially if you have them 1 out of 5, that way you can guarantee criticals at the very least. And then with that, we're using these 3 links, good mixture of full stamina, recharge, and more strong attack damage when at full stamina. So of course, Esnor's going to be our main lead DPS. Our second character is going to be Soifon. For the longest time, I've only had a 4-5. They don't want to put it in any 1000G Blood banners that I'm at least summoning on, unfortunately, so I've always been 1 copy away. But surprisingly, she's still a really good nat character. There aren't really many alternatives like her. The only alternative to my knowledge is New Year's Renji, a normal attack damage character that can boost with their SA2. So with that in mind, we're going to Chappy Chappy Hollow Bait with as much normal attack damage as possible, because I'm fairly confident we are going to clear this quest with plenty of time to spare. So much so we don't need to give Soifon recharge to overlap her SA2 team boost. And obviously with that in mind, full stamina and attack is her bonus abilities. And then obviously Gremmy, since we are using a Quincy as a main lead, Gremmy is always going to be our 3rd character. Alongside that, a Mugetsu soul trait, that way we can get the extra 20% strong attack damage, plus the additional 20% from Mugetsu, and also the 30% that Gremmy does give, allowing Esnor to hit even harder. Now, one of the best parts about Esnor, in my opinion, is the fact that he does have 3 debuff moves. We've been saying it for years now, debuffs have never ever been good. And the ultimate reason has been because it only affects 1 wave. And that's still true, but I guess a way to make a debuff character work is by giving someone like Esnor 3 ways to debuff the enemy. His SA2, his EX attack, and also his soul bomb. So we're going to use that in mind to try and get a very high score today. With that said, let's jump into it and see what we can get. Alrighty then, so when we were trying it on stream, it was actually fairly consistent. So we want to start off the quest going up, let's use our SA3, and ideally we do want to get a status proc each time. We can then go hit SA2 into the 1, or I probably should have done it the other way, but this works. We're then going to use our EX attack, and then we'll use our soul bomb. That way we can like double debuff, because you actually can stack these debuffs, by the way. And then with this, we should hopefully be able to take down everyone, or like almost make everyone 1-shot for the most part. Because otherwise we'd have to, like, you know, space our strong attacks. We can then use our SA3 into the 1. Unfortunately, Gremmy got a status proc there, so we're then going to use our 1 into the 2. And look at that. When you debuff with the 2, it does a lot of damage. That was a decent first attempt. It is fairly simple and also, most importantly, consistent. But we didn't get the desired one at the very least. And unfortunately now, we've taken some damage, but it's fine. Now, one thing that's maybe worth noting with Esnor is that his EX attack is actually... It has the shortest cooldown out of any EX attack, which I think is kind of cool. Doesn't matter, not that much, but it's something to keep in mind. I believe it has like a 45-second cooldown. But I'm really liking this character in Guild Quest, despite the lack of Berserker, because that's one big thing about this character, right? But that's kind of where the EX attack and all these ways to debuff the enemy kind of come in effect here. Because remember, those debuffs let Soifon hit harder. I still can't believe that's his end pose, by the way. His whole character is constantly doing that L pose. But with the weakening on every attack besides SA2 and all these debuffs, it allows ourselves to hit significantly harder than you would probably think he would hit. And then also Soifun if she does get her normal attacks in. So in this case, for this run, I believe we got a 42-second clear time, which is pretty decent. Pretty decent for a 1-5 character. Let's try that again though. One thing I will say though, I'm actually very surprised that enemies can still stay alive after using the Soul Bomb. So let's go here, SA3. Really liking the SA2 though. It actually does a lot of damage once you actually do apply the weakening effect, because let's use our EX now. And then Soul Bomb, and there's sometimes still enemies alive, but luckily for us, this time we actually got everyone. Good right there, and then in this case, we got SA1. Did something go wrong there? Maybe I used the wrong attack. I'm not sure how we didn't have a strong attack ready. So let's try that again. I think I ended up using my SA2 a lot earlier than I was supposed to. So go here, SA3. I've seen a footage of like a 2-5 S-Knot, and he's able to do some crazy damage. So in that case, I should have used my SA1 first, but it's fine. Then Soul Bomb, SA1, I guess that works out. There we go. Unfortunately, no status proc. That's on your... You have to keep in mind with S-Knot, you still need to get those status procs. You still need to get the weakening. We'll keep this run going, though. The SA1's been good, though. Like, being able to group everyone together. And I think the SA1 might be the best part about him. We'll let it continue out, because obviously his SA2 can't inflict status on it. It's something unfortunately the last S-Knot had a problem with, right? Which I don't get. I really don't get why we're still in 2025 and characters can't get status on these utility effects. Because back in like what, 2017, when Parasol Grimjow came out, he has paralysis on his SA2 team boost. So I'm not sure why he's the only character like that, because I feel like S-Knot would be a lot better. Many characters would be a lot better. Rukia would be better if they were able to inflict status on their SA2 team boost or team buff. But go back to what I was saying. Since his SA2 can't inflict any status, I really do like having that vacuum-like SA1 attack. One, because it does do a good job almost gathering everyone together, and then you can just combo that into the SA2, likely because the amount of hits that it does have is going to inflict the enemy with weakening, and then you can debuff them and do crazy damage super fast with that 960 SA2. Alright, onwards to our next attempt. Here we go. SA3. Into the run. There we go. Go down. SA1. Into the 2. Did we not get a status proc on Lily? Seems like it. We'll keep it going, though. And then Soul Bomb. Complete. Okay. Luckily, yes, they will actually somehow grab them in there. There we go. Soifun do the job. I don't think we got a weakening proc on the very first hit. And then we should finish up here with the SA2. 42 seconds seems to be our best right now. We can get faster, though. But we can get a better run. And right now, my best with this team is around 45 seconds. So that's what we're going to try and go for today's video. We just need to get lucky status procs, to be honest. Like that. That's going good. Okay. Kind of works out there. Although, again, did I use my strong attack wrong? How do I know I have the SA2 ready? Oh, we went super fast. There we go. Close enough. 45 seconds. I guess we were just on the cooldown there. But that's basically what we kind of wanted, right? Close enough. If your S-Knot is 2-5, I definitely think you can go for like 50 seconds remaining. I'd be curious to see what a Bambietta and also S-Knot run would look like. Would you even want to do that? I'm not too sure. But the thing is, right, with S-Knot, you do have Weakening Plus, so you could actually inflict your Starsmans on top of Bambietta. And that'll be actually a really good combination, because Bambietta already does more damage to, you know, lacerated enemies, right? And Lacerate, you can give extra 40% damage as a bonus ability. So that's why Bambietta is able to do a lot of damage. But then you throw S-Knot in on top of that, and he gets a status proc on top of the Lacerate, you're just doing 50% more damage. I really believe Weakening Plus is one of the better status element plus to have, because adding 50% more damage to an already high existing character is never a bad thing, and it doesn't take away their status element, you know? And we did just get a recent notice that they have actually fixed the Weakening Plus to a certain extent. It now just lasts a second longer, And then in Guild Quest in particular, right? Remember the enemies, does it actually say here? I guess they don't mention it anymore, but remember the enemies themselves are immune to weakening. They have that 80% immunity. So weakening only lasts around 2 or so seconds, but with weakening plus, which Esnor and, Ichigo have, for example, because you need a 200% immunity to be immune to weakening plus, their status events last longer than a normal weakening, despite the 80% resistance. And that probably lets you get that extra time for someone like Soifun to get that extra bit of damage, likewise for yourself too. With that said though, let's just do one victory lap, one more run, no resetting, because the runs thus far have been fairly consistent. So here we go. As a free, into the 1. Let's use our 1 again, into the 2. EX, into the Soul Bomb, into the 1. Thus far, that's good. As a free, into the 1. Tad bit slow there, but we need that extra bit of time. And then group everyone up. Back away, 42. Close enough though. Where'd everyone go? I have no idea. I don't like it matters, but hopefully we can actually clear this part faster too. I'm gonna just sit back. Again, the good part here is that someone like Gremmy can inflict his last or paralysis more. So I still took a hit, so it's already over. Doesn't matter to be fair, but Gremmy can get his paralysis in, keep the enemy in place, and then we can just apply a weakening and still get our high damage output. All right, there we go. I need to rehear his voice line. Does his EX attack have him have his VOLLSTANDIG voice? Damn, that's actually a pretty cool EX attack, and you saw his eyes there too. But with that said, lads, that's the video for today. Checking out Esnor in Guild Quest. Obviously, to no one's surprise, he's a good character in this game mode. And we're going to showcase the character again in the coming days outside of Guild Quest. But I really do like what this character has to offer, despite these Guild Quest specific skills, right? I just like the idea they turned this character into a debuff unit. Having 3 ways to debuff a character or an enemy is actually kind of cool. I like the idea of it. And yeah, he's able to get high scores. One might say this Guild Quest didn't technically need him, but I don't think more options is never a bad thing. Every time we get a new lead for Guild Quest, I always hear someone say they replaced an X character already. No, we're just getting new characters and more characters to use. Bambietta can still score high, Kyogre can still score high, and now Esnor can score higher. I like having multiple options, especially in my case where you can see, for example, I didn't pull Bambietta, so I'm actually very happy to have someone like Esnor right now. But other than that, he's a pretty fun unit, able to get a good score. I can't complain. Let me know what you guys think of this character in the comments below, and I see you guys next time. Take care and peace.